The series starts with a young boy who loves martial arts. He practices every day because he wants to be very strong. He remembers when he was just 9 years old, and people would say he was special because he had a great power inside him. Meanwhile, there was a group of 5 teams on a mission to find hidden treasure. A man named Nalan Yanran was their leader. But things went wrong when they met their enemies, the Hall of Souls. They fought, but the bad guys won. Everyone in the group got hurt, including the mother of the young boy, Xiaoyan. During that time, Xiaoyan's mom gave him a ring. But soon after, people began to say that Xiaoyan's mom was a thief who secretly stole treasure. Because of this, she had to do something really sad and scary to prove she wasn't guilty. Even her husband, the leader of their family, had to hurt himself, losing his special power, just so other families wouldn't attack them. Xiaoyan was struggling. Whenever he tried to practice martial arts, he felt weaker instead of stronger. People laughed at him, thinking he was no good. But there was one girl, Sooner, who was like a sister to him. She always supported him, no matter what. Things were tough at home too. Even his dad didn't believe in him anymore and didn't want Xiaoyan to be a fighter. Instead, his dad told him to learn how to be an alchemist, but Xiaoyan didn't want that at all. Frustrated, he hit a tree trunk, and when his head touched the ring his mom gave him, something crazy happened. Xiaoyan suddenly found himself in a completely different place. In this new place, Xiaoyan met a man named Yao Chun, who was a friend of his mom from long ago. Yao Chun told him he was inside the ring his mom gave him and that he had been living there for 7 years, taking care of a special building that held a big treasure. It turns out, this was the very treasure that everyone thought Xiaoyan's mom had stolen. And they were right. She did take it. Soon after, Yao Chun revealed something shocking. He told Xiaoyan that he had been absorbing all the strength Xiaoyan had worked so hard to build over the past 7 years. That's why, no matter how much Xiaoyan trained, he never felt stronger. Hearing this made Xiaoyan very angry at Yao Chun. To make things worse, Yao Chun showed off some amazing boxing moves, which is the same one Xiaoyan had been trying to master. Seeing Yao Chun, who had been hiding in the ring all this time, being so powerful really upset Xiaoyan. He couldn't help but shout at Yao Chun, blaming him for not helping to save his mom when she was in danger. Meanwhile, another situation was unfolding. Nalan Yanran, the leader of the Nalan family, wanted his granddaughter, Yanran, to visit the Xiao family. Yanran was supposed to marry Xiaoyan since they were little, and it seemed like it was time to move forward with that plan. Someone from the Nalan family talked to Xiaoyan's dad, Xiao Zhan. They brought a special pill, a magic one that could restore Xiao Zhan's lost strength. But they wanted to cancel the marriage between Xiaoyan and Yanran in exchange for the pill. Basically, they were saying that Xiaoyan wasn't strong enough for Yanran. But Xiao Zhan refused. He knew they thought his son wasn't strong, and if he agreed to cancel the marriage, it would make his family look bad. Things got intense, and Nalan Yanran himself showed up, saying that his family was struggling too, and he couldn't let Yanran marry someone as weak as Xiaoyan. Yanran even said she would only marry Xiaoyan if he could beat her in a fight within the next 3 years. This made Xiaoyan really mad. He was okay with canceling the wedding, but he couldn't resist being a bit cheeky. In the official letter calling off the engagement, he wrote something rude. The Nalan family was very upset with his boldness. Soon after, things got even more heated. Nalan Yanran was furious and told Xiaoyan to literally eat his rude words by chewing up the paper they were written on. He even encouraged Yanran to attack Xiaoyan. Even though Xiaoyan was already hurt, he didn't back down. His spirit was strong, so he stood up tall and dared Yanran to fight him. This irritated Yanran, and she didn't hold back, hitting him so hard that Xiaoyan coughed up blood. Xiaoyan was in a lot of pain, both from the beating and the harsh words, but instead of giving up, he became more determined. With a fiery look in his eyes, he told the Nalan family that they would see how strong he would become in just 3 years. As a final gesture, he returned a small bag that Yanran had given him a while ago, perhaps as a way to say goodbye to the past. 7 years ago, at Xiaoyan's mom's funeral, Yanran gave Xiaoyan a small bag. Suddenly, Sooner stepped in, basically warning Yanran that she would regret looking down on her, who was like a sister to Xiaoyan. Jumping to the present, Xiaoyan visits the ring dimension, bringing some drinks for Yao Chun. Even though Yao Chun is stuck in the ring, he knows what's been going on with Xiaoyan in the real world. Yao Chun wasn't very encouraging, telling Xiaoyan that he had little chance of beating Yanran in the future, especially since she had a very strong teacher. But Xiaoyan didn't get discouraged. He stayed hopeful and determined, refusing to let setbacks hold him back. Xiaoyan decided to train harder than ever to get stronger. His dad noticed his determination and encouraged him to keep going, even though he wasn't the strongest. When he wasn't training, Xiaoyan spent time with Yaochun in the ring world. There, Yaochun told him that he had taught 6 students, but Xiaoyan's mom was the best among them. She was the only one who really loved learning alchemy. As it turns out, Yaochun was the top expert in the alchemy world, the best there is. Xiaoyan then spoke up, showing that he didn't hold any grudges against Yaochun for not teaching him how to defend himself. His mom had left him a message before she died, telling him to always keep the ring safe and cherish it. Yaochun was moved by Xiaoyan's sincere words. He gave Xiaoyan a challenge. If he could defeat a level 2 Scorpion King, he would teach him some self-defense move. Yaochun thought the task would be too hard for Xiaoyan, but Xiaoyan didn't back down. Motivated by his dream of becoming the strongest, he faced the Scorpion King. Even though he got hurt during the fight, he didn't give up, and to everyone's surprise, he managed to defeat the Scorpion King. After the tough fight with the Scorpion King, Xiaoyan woke up in a medicinal bath that Yaochun had prepared. He was amazed that his injured shoulder was completely healed, even after the hard hit it took during the battle. True to his word, Yaochun was ready to take Xiaoyan as his student. Xiaoyan quickly learned the fiery powers that Yaochun showed him. With just one demonstration, Xiaoyan was already creating flames. Yaochun was impressed, recognizing that Xiaoyan had a real talent for this. But the training didn't stop there. Xiaoyan was taught how to use his inner energy to create powerful attacks and even went through intense training, including being bitten, to boost his inner energy levels and catch up on the Qi training he had missed. Yaochun explained that time works differently in the ring dimension. Spending 15 hours, there was only like 1 hour in the real world. So, besides working on his Qi and learning some amazing fight moves, Xiaoyan also learned about a powerful technique called the 8 extreme collapses. A few days later, we find ourselves at Jianan Academy. This place is a big martial arts school run by the 5 alliance clans. At that time, Xiaoyan's dad was there, showing off his students to 3 important teachers from the academy: Master Han Feng, Master Gu Yi, and Master Ruolin. When Xiaoyan greeted these masters, Han Feng mentioned that Xiaoyan looked just like his mom. But Xiaoyan didn't have much time to think about that because he quickly went back to the ring dimension where Yaochun was waiting to share some important news. It turns out Han Feng was the bad guy all along, the sneaky traitor from the terrible events 7 years ago. Yaochun was pretty sure that Han Feng was a spy from the creepy Hall of Soul. He suggested that if Xiaoyan wanted to learn more about his mom's death, he should get close to Han Feng, maybe by studying at Jianan Academy. Fast forward a bit, and it's the big day where all the hopeful students from the 5 clans are fighting to impress the masters. Nalan Yanran was there, watching everything. Everyone was focused on Sooner, who was doing an amazing job, showing off some incredible fight moves against her opponent. But it wasn't easy, as some members of the Xiao clan were getting beaten. Seeing his clan struggling, Xiaoyan asked his dad if he could step in and fight. After some convincing, his dad agreed, and Xiaoyan jumped in, totally dominating his tough opponent. After that round of fights, it was time for the big showdown between the Xiao and Nalan clans, with Yanran stepping in as the Nalan clan's star player. The people from the Xiao clan were worried because it seemed like no one could match Yanran. But then, out of nowhere, Sooner appeared in the middle of the field, ready to challenge Yanran and settle the score for how she treated Xiaoyan before. Sooner was doing great against Yanran, who wasn't really taking the fight seriously at first. But things got intense when Yanran launched an attack, and Xiaoyan jumped in. He took the hit that was meant for Sooner. Even though he was in pain, he didn't back down. He got up, dusted himself off, and said it was his turn. He then stepped up, ready to represent the Xiao clan in the tiebreaker. This time, he gave it his all, using his powerful 8 extreme collapse technique to defeat a really tough opponent. You should have seen the proud smiles on Xiaoyan's friends' faces. But not everyone was convinced. The people overseeing the event were suspicious of Xiaoyan's sudden increase in power, thinking he might have used some kind of magic pill to help him. To clear things up, they asked him to show his true strength to see if he was really as strong as he said. Soon after, Xiaoyan amazed everyone when his Qi strength shot up to level 7. This was great news for the Xiao clan because it meant that several of their young members were accepted into the prestigious Jianan Academy. Seeing this, Xiao Zhan, the leader of the Xiao clan and Xiaoyan's dad, handed out scrolls to the lucky ones who got in. telling them to visit the family library to choose some combat technique scrolls. In the library, the scrolls were organized into 4 main categories, ranked from the best to the most basic: sky, earth, black, and yellow. The group got a chance to go inside and pick out the scrolls they wanted to learn from. But the higher-ranked scrolls were protected by traps and seals, which were really hard to break. Even with Xiao Yan's help, Sooner could only manage to get a level 3 scroll. Meanwhile, a couple of others in their group weren't so lucky and came out empty-handed. But Xiao Yan didn't give up. He had his sights set on a level 2, Earth category scroll. After some searching, Xiao Yan found a scroll that described an amazing 3,000 lightning bolts technique. Yao Chun had been guiding him toward it the whole time. Yao Chun explained that this scroll was actually a top-level, Sky category scroll, but because it wasn't complete, it had been placed with the Earth category scrolls. But he knew where to find the missing parts. So, with Yao Chun's guidance coming from the ring, Xiao Yan got to work breaking the seal that was guarding this valuable scroll. The next day, Xiao Yan woke up to find Sooner waiting to talk about the cool scroll he had managed to get. She was curious and a bit confused about how he had become so strong so quickly. Xiao Yan, feeling nervous because he didn't want to lie to his close friend, quickly went into the ring to ask Yao Chun for advice. After getting some guidance from Yao Chun, Xiao Yan told Sooner about his secret training sessions with the master in the ring. But Sooner thought he was joking and just burst out laughing. Even though she didn't believe him, Xiao Yan took a moment to appreciate her for always supporting him since they were kids. Then, Sooner shared a memory from their younger days when she was a sickly girl, and Xiao Yan always looked out for her. But it wasn't just Sooner who was curious. Xiao Yan's dad was also suspicious of his son's sudden increase in power, especially when he saw Xiao Yan using a powerful move he supposedly hadn't learned yet. Feeling pressured by his dad's questions, Xiao Yan showed him the ring his mom had given him as a secret. Recognizing it, his dad quickly understood and told Xiao Yan to keep the secret training to himself. The next day, Xiao Yan and the other new students were on their way to the famous Jianan Academy, led by Master Ruo Lin. She told them that the academy was nearby, but they had to walk there on their own. They also had to pass a fusion test to get in. Plus, they received special energy badges, which were like the academy's currency. But things started getting strange quickly. Students began disappearing, and their new badges were being stolen. This made everyone really scared. Meanwhile, Xiao Yan's group started getting to know each other better. Hu Jia shared his tough story of growing up without parents. Lin Xiaoya turned out to be an expert on magical beasts. And then there was Hao Tian, who knew a lot about the academy and the test they were in the middle of. Hao Tian soon revealed a not-so-great secret. The senior students were the ones stealing the badges. It was all part of the test. Hao Tian knew this because he had failed the test before. But his skills in alchemy earned him another chance at the academy. So, he encouraged everyone to stick together and stay alert for the sneaky seniors. Next, the group needed to get past a spot guarded by Bai Cheng. But Xiao Yan and his crew had a plan. They managed to trap Bai Cheng, tie him to a tree, and even take his clothes. However, Bai Cheng wasn't left there for long because some senior students from the next checkpoint came to his rescue. Later on, Bai Cheng joined forces with a group and kept a close watch on the newbies, who were busy making some delicious-smelling soup. Meanwhile, Xiao Yan managed to steal back their energy badges from Bai Cheng. At that point, Lin Xiaoya wasn't too happy with Xiao Yan keeping all the badges to himself and not sharing them with the group. While they were arguing, the senior students swooped in, thinking they had everything under control. They even helped themselves to the soup that the newcomers had made. But the soup was poisoned. It turned out that the argument between Xiao Yan and Lin Xiaoya was just a trick to catch the seniors off guard. But their troubles didn't end there. When they reached the next checkpoint, they encountered another senior, Bai Shan, who was quite intimidating. He outright threatened to break their legs if they didn't hand over an energy badge. At the same time, Xiao Yan got injured, which scared everyone. They tried to escape, but Bai Shan wasn't about to let that happen and chased after them, attacking without mercy. However, Xiao Yan didn't give up. He faced Bai Shan head-on, but got hit so hard that he had to pretend to be dead to avoid more attacks. Realizing what Xiao Yan was doing, Sooner stepped in. She accused Bai Shan of killing someone, which really shook him up. Taking advantage of the moment, she launched a surprise attack on him, catching him completely off guard. In the end, Bai Shan found himself beaten and literally buried in the ground. So, the newbies managed to pass the test and made their way out of the dark forest. They all promised to stick together and watch out for each other as they began their journey at the academy. The next day, the newbies finally arrived at Jianan Academy and were welcomed by Master Tashan. He quickly explained that the academy wasn't run by just one leader, but by a team from the 5 Alliance clans. Also, no secret fighting was allowed. If students had a problem with each other, they needed to settle it in the official arena. Next, Xiao Yin and his group were shown to their dorms by Bai Cheng, who clearly had the respect of the older students since he led a group. It turned out that forming groups was a big deal at the academy, and anyone could start one. Interestingly, Bai Cheng was actually Bai Shan's older brother, although Bai Shan seemed a bit stronger. Later, they took a stroll around the academy. They even noticed a bookie setting up bets on a fight happening in the arena. Turns out it was Bai Shan, who easily knocked down his opponent without breaking a sweat. Fast forward to their first class with Master Ruolin, and everyone was eager to learn new fighting techniques. Xiao Yin even got a chance to test his skills against the master herself, using his signature 8 extreme collapse moves. But to his surprise, Ruolin easily stopped him with some smooth, gentle move. That's when Xiao Yin realized that being a great fighter isn't just about strength. It's also about knowing how to use it wisely. Meanwhile, in the alchemy class, Master Gu was teaching everyone how to make potions. The key to a perfect potion is getting the fire just right while cooking it. However, Xiao Yin wasn't really interested in making potions. Instead, he ended up in another class with Master Han Feng. Things got tense quickly. Han Feng didn't like Xiao Yin at all. He even accused Xiao Yan's mom of being a thief who stole valuable items from the Xing Pavilion, just because Xiao Yin could use the special 8 extreme collapse moves. Soon after, Xiao Yin was punished with floor mopping duty. While working, he started thinking about a dramatic scene from 7 years ago. People were accusing his mom, Gu Wenxin, of being a traitor who stole treasures from the Xing Pavilion. She stood tall and took the blame, a memory that stayed with Xiao Yin, making him feel uneasy. During that time, Nalan Jie tried to question Gu Wenxin, but she refused to answer. Then, she did something extreme. After her death, her younger brother, Gu Yuan, decided that his daughter, Suner, should stay with the Xiao family. That's how Suner became Xiao Yan's adopted sister, although they are actually cousins. Back in the present, Xiao Yin snapped out of his thoughts and noticed Suner coming over to help with his punishment. But he didn't want her to do his work. With Suner cheering him on, Xiao Yin finished the task by himself. The next day, just as Xiao Yin was about to go to bed, Lin Shuya suddenly attacked him with a knife, accusing Xiao Yan's mom of being the reason his parents died. But Xiao Yin stood up for his mom, insisting she would never do something so terrible. Life at the academy wasn't easy for Xiao Yin. Every day brought new challenges, especially with Master Gu Yi, who seemed to enjoy picking on him. It felt like Xiao Yin was constantly being beaten up or stuck with boring tasks like mopping the floors. But whenever Xiao Yin entered the ring dimension, Yao Chun was there to lift his spirits. Yao Chun told him that true strength is built through overcoming hardships. He even taught Xiao Yin how to make a special spirit cleansing medicine that gradually increased his strength. Thanks to this, Xiao Yin was able to boost the power of his ring to level 9. Even though Xiao Yin was getting stronger, Master Gu Ye's harassment didn't stop. Bai Cheng, trying to be helpful, warned Xiao Yin to stay out of Gu Ye's way since he seemed to enjoy being mean to students he didn't like. Things got worse when Xiao Yin was cleaning Master Gu's room and found a medicine bottle on the floor. Suddenly, a couple of older students walked in and accused him of stealing. Trying to clear his name, Xiao Yin explained that he was only there because Bai Cheng told him to clean up on Master Gu Ye's orders. But when they asked Bai Cheng, he denied everything, making Xiao Yin angry and causing him to lash out. Later, the masters couldn't agree on what to do with Xiao Yin. Master Han Feng and Master Gu Yi, who disliked him, wanted to kick him out of the academy. But Master Ruolin and Master Gu weren't convinced. They suspected Xiao Yin might have been framed. They stood up for him, and in the end, he was only given a punishment. During this time, he noticed that his 2 older classmates were acting suspiciously. Fast forward a bit. After serving 3 days of his punishment, Xiao Yin couldn't shake off the feeling that something was suspicious about those 2 seniors. So, in the middle of the night, he woke up Lin Shuya to help him keep an eye on them. At one point, he even talked to Yao Chun about a mysterious figure he had seen. This figure was a man named Fan Lao, who was an envoy from the Hall of Souls. It turned out that Fan Lao was involved in some really strange stuff. He was gathering students for a blood unification ritual, promising them eternal life if they participated. To convince them, he brought out a huge snake, let it bite his hand, and then asked everyone to drink his blood. Some students from Jianan Academy were at this creepy ritual, even getting ready to drink the blood. Bai Cheng was almost one of them, but just in time, Xiaoyan jumped out from his hiding spot and managed to stop the ritual. Then, he and Lin Xiaoya made a run for it, but they ran straight into that giant snake. Xiaoyan fought the snake until he defeated it, but he passed out right afterward. Meanwhile, Lin Xiaoya, who got separated, sensed that Fan Lao was tracking him. When Xiaoyan woke up, he quickly told the others that Lin Xiaoya was missing and revealed that the seniors had taken part in the strange blood-drinking ritual with the Hall of Souls envoy. At first, Han Feng didn't believe him and dismissed the idea that the Hall of Souls had spies at the academy. But when Xiaoyan showed proof of the ritual, Han Feng couldn't deny it anymore, especially with Master Tang Shan supporting his story. Things escalated quickly. The next day, Xiaoyan handed over a metal cube to Yao Chen. He explained that the big snake he fought before was just an illusion. The cube was actually formed from that phantom snake he had defeated. Yao Chen took a closer look at the cube and, to Xiaoyan's surprise, turned it into a solid steel sword. He even suggested that Xiaoyan should learn how to use a sword. There was just one problem. Xiaoyan couldn't lift the heavy sword at all. But Yao Chen told Xiaoyan that using the sword wasn't just about physical strength. To wield it, he needed to channel his inner power. So, Yao Chen decided to teach Xiaoyan how to use it, demonstrating 3 powerful fiery wave sword techniques. Xiaoyan was eager to learn. Learning how to use the sword wasn't easy. Xiaoyan started by just lifting the sword, trying to get used to its weight. He trained in the special ring dimension where time moves differently, giving him 15 extra hours compared to the real world to practice. With all this extra time, he managed to master the first of the 3 fiery sword moves. The next day, everyone was getting really worried because Lin Xiaoya still hadn't returned. Suddenly, Fan Lao appeared and caused a big commotion, hurting some students and even grabbing Xiaoyan by the neck. It turned out that Fan Lao had captured Lin Xiaoya and demanded that Xiaoyan hand over his new weapon in exchange for Lin Xiaoya's safety. However, Xiaoyan wasn't about to just give up. He agreed to meet Fan Lao the next night, bringing along the heavy steel cube, but he had no intention of simply handing over the weapon. When they met, Xiaoyan took Fan Lao by surprise and attacked him. Even though Xiaoyan only knew one sword move, he wasn't alone. Yao Chen, who was with him in the ring, supported him, helping Xiaoyan pull off the second and even the third sword move. These moves were so powerful that they defeated Fan Lao, sending him tumbling into a deep chasm. The fight left Xiaoyan pretty beat up, and he even coughed up some blood. But he succeeded in rescuing Lin Xiaoya and brought him back safely to the academy. After this, the masters couldn't ignore Xiaoyan's skills anymore, especially after he stood up to the powerful spirit messenger, Fan Lao, and won. They were starting to realize the strength Xiaoyan had within him. The next day, Bai Cheng decided to mess with Xiaoyan while he was alone at the bathing place. He came up with a plan, saying that since Xiaoyan's friends gave him energy badges when he was in trouble, now it's Xiaoyan's turn to return the favor. But Xiaoyan wasn't going to back down. He snapped back at Bai Cheng, ready to fight. Xiaoyan's friends had already set up a surprise counterattack against Bai Cheng and his gang. After putting Bai Cheng in his place, Xiaoyan and his buddies thought it might be a good idea to start their own group, like a safety squad, to keep the senior students from bullying them. They even came up with a cool name for their team, the Fire Group. Meanwhile, Bai Cheng, feeling humiliated, rushed to find his younger brother, Bai Shan, hoping he would get revenge on Xiaoyan. But Bai Shan wasn't interested. He didn't want to get into a private fight because it was against the academy's rules. Plus, challenging a junior like Xiaoyan in the arena would hurt his reputation since older students weren't supposed to pick fights with younger ones. The next day, Hao Tian and his gang went to Master Ruolin with a proposal to officially form their group. Master Ruolin liked the idea. So, the gang got their own spot to hang out and train, although the place was a bit run down and needed some fixing up. But to do that, they needed a lot of energy badges. That's when Hao Tian, who knew a lot about making potions, suggested they make and sell medicines in the market to raise money. After some negotiations, they secured a spot in the market to set up shop. Soon after, Xiaoyan helped Hao Tian make the medicines, and they sold out fast. But not everyone was happy about their success. Han Xian, the leader of the established medicine group, was annoyed that the newbies were selling at lower prices and cutting into his business. He even claimed their medicines didn't work and insisted they should join his group instead. Not pleased, he threw a challenge at them, demanding a showdown. Han Xian was a strong fighter, a 3-star, while Xiao Yin and his friends were just at the 2-star level. It wasn't going to be easy, but Xiao Yin wasn't going to back down. He knew he had to improve to take on Han Xian. So, he worked hard with Yao Chun, practicing tirelessly to master the third move of the fire-breaking wave swordsmanship, hoping to bring his best to the fight. The next day was the big fight. But things didn't start well because Lin Xiaoyao woke up feeling really sick and couldn't join the fight. And Xiao Yin was sitting up but completely unresponsive, which had everyone in the fire group worried. That's when Sooner stepped in and asked the crew to help carry her adopted brother to the arena, hoping for the best. Meanwhile, Xiao Yin was in another realm inside the ring's dimension, working hard to stop a powerful waterfall, unaware of the chaos happening outside. Back in the arena, with Lin Xiaoyao missing and Xiao Yin appearing unconscious, the referee, Master Ruo Lin, wasn't sure if the fire group could continue. The group was nervous, but knew they couldn't quit. The fight began with Hu Jia stepping up first, and to everyone's surprise, he won his match. But when he faced 3 more opponents, he almost lost. Thankfully, Sooner joined in just in time to help him, and together, they defeated their rivals. However, when it was Han Xian's turn to fight, the duo couldn't match up to the strong medicine group. Now, all hope rested on Hao Tian, the last fighter for the fire group. Although he was tired and low on energy, he bravely fought Han Xian, using his shield to defend himself. But it was clear he couldn't last much longer. At the same time, Xiao Yin was making great progress. He had mastered the third fire wave breaking style and even managed to stop the waterfall in the ring dimension. Fully awake and ready, he rushed into the battle and faced the students from the medicine group. He even defeated Han Xian, using his cube sword without even touching it. But Han Xian didn't want to accept defeat. He swallowed a bunch of energy pills, a risky move that could harm him. Though he became super strong for a moment, it wasn't enough. Xiao Yin still won. After the fight, Xiao Yin visited Han Xian, offering him healing ointment. But Han Xian, still angry, warned Xiao Yin that this wasn't over and vowed to remain his enemy. Xiao Yin then shared this with his friends, hinting that they might face trouble since many in the medicine group were strong 3-star fighters. But Hao Tian brought some good news. Several members of the medicine group had switched sides to join their team. To celebrate their victory, the fire group gathered for a meal. When asked to give a speech, Xiao Yin kept it short, reminding everyone that their group's main goal was to stand against violence and that being aggressive towards others was not allowed. Suddenly, Han Xian burst in, furious that some of his old crew had joined Xiao Yan's team. He believed Xiao Yin only beat him because of his large ruler-like weapon. Angry, Han Xian challenged Xiao Yin to a duel without weapons. Just as Han Xian was about to take more energy-boosting medicine, Xiao Yin stopped him, and they started fighting again. But the fight didn't last long because Master Gu Yi arrived just in time. He was unhappy to see them fighting and sent them both to the punishment room to cool off. While in the punishment room, Han Xian began to see Xiao Yin differently, realizing that he was actually a good and responsible person. In the end, Han Xian decided to let go of his grudge against Xiao Yin and his team. It seemed their rivalry was ending, and they were even starting to become friends. A few days passed, and it was time for Master Han Feng to show the new students around the incredible Yinyang Tower. The cool thing about this tower is that training there for just one day felt like a whole month of training anywhere else. This tower was built by a war god right on top of a volcano. So, the lower you go in the tower, the hotter it gets. But if you could handle training on the bottom floor, you'd improve your skills much faster. Xiao Yin was eager to try. He even checked with Yao Chun, who told him to train on the lowest floor to become really strong. Excited, Xiao Yin went to Bai Shan and asked if he could train on the ground floor of the tower. But Bai Shan refused. In fact, he even started a fight with Xiao Yin. Suddenly, Han Xian appeared to support Xiao Yin, who was now his friend. But even then, Bai Shan wouldn't budge. He told Xiao Yin that he could only train on the bottom floor if he beat him in a battle. Bai Shan dared Xiao Yin to officially challenge him. So, the big fight was arranged, and everyone was talking about it. Most people thought Xiao Yin would not only lose, but also get seriously hurt. During all this, Xiao Yin and his friends got distracted by some cool flying wings being sold at the market. However, they were expensive. Poor Xiao Yin could only afford a pair that looked old and might not even work. Soon after, Xiao Yan's friends rushed to talk him out of the fight. Everyone knew that Bai Shan was a top fighter with 8 stars, while Xiao Yin was only at level 2. The difference was huge, and Han Xian, along with others, tried to convince him to cancel the fight. But Xiao Yin just smiled, not worried at all. Meanwhile, Suner was very scared for Xiao Yin and begged him to back out of the fight. But instead of being afraid, Xiao Yin was excited. He was determined to fight because he wanted to get stronger and take revenge for his mom against the Hall of Souls. So, he started a super intense training routine, not just training on the lowest level of the Yin Yang Tower, but also using the ring dimension for double training to make the most of his time. In the midst of all this, Yao Chen came up with a plan to attach those wings to Xiao Yin, boosting his fire refining skills to the maximum. But the training was so intense that Xiao Yin passed out, and when he woke up, he found Master Ting Shan taking care of him. The training had taken a toll, damaging many of Xiao Yan's veins. Master Ting Shan was really worried about him, so he gave him a beautiful flower to lift his spirits. Next, Xiao Yin took the flower to Yao Chun, who explained that it wasn't just any flower. It had the power to greatly increase Xiao Yan's strength, but it would cause him a lot of pain all over his body. Soon after, Xiao Yin found himself training again, but this time inside a dimension within the ring dimension. There, he saw Yao Chun, who looked much older than usual. At that time, Yao Chun had figured out how to attach wings to Xiao Yin, but it wasn't going to be easy. He told Xiao Yin, who was in a lot of pain, that he needed to find his own way out of this strange place. If he couldn't, he would be stuck there forever. Even though he could wake up in the real world, where Suner was holding him, he wouldn't really be back. His body was there, looking very beaten up and in pain, but his spirit was still trapped in that other place. Shortly after, a worried Suner asked Bai Shan to cancel the fight, but he refused. At the same time, Xiao Yin was just as determined, deciding to step into the ring even though Master Ruo Lin suggested postponing the fight. Nothing could change Xiao Yan's mind. As soon as the fight started, it was clear that Bai Shan was playing with Xiao Yin, using his stick to keep him from falling out of the ring. Xiao Yin was getting badly beaten, but he refused to give up. Every time Bai Shan tried to knock him down, Xiao Yin stubbornly got back up, even with the crowd shouting at him to stay down. While almost beaten, Xiao Yan's soul, trapped in another dimension, met a younger version of himself. The younger Xiao Yin told him that this was all just a dream, and he needed to wake up. This reminded Xiao Yin of a conversation he had with the wise Master Ting Shan. Suddenly, Xiao Yan's soul returned to his body, bringing all the benefits of his hard training. Flames erupted from his shoulders, and wings, the ones Yao Qian had given him, appeared. Soon after, Xiao Yin flew into the sky, leaving everyone watching in awe and confusion. He summoned his cube sword and attacked Bai Shan, easily breaking his stick. Bai Shan, who had earlier wanted a fight without weapons, was about to see how strong Xiao Yin had become. In the end, Xiao Yin won, proving everyone wrong. A few days later, it was time for the school holiday, and all the students were excited about a special hunting trip organized by their teachers. But this wasn't just any hunting trip. They were going after magical creatures. During the trip, Master Ruo Lin reminded everyone to stay alert and follow the teacher's instructions. Soon after, they reached their destination and began setting up camp. While there, they met some people from the Yulan clan who were upset about a woman riding a lion with purple wings. This woman had attacked their group, and they were eager to find and stop her. At first, Masters Han Feng and Ruo Lin didn't believe them, but soon enough, the woman appeared. As night fell, Master Han Feng gathered everyone to remind them not to underestimate their prey during the hunt. Around the same time, the fire group found some gooey tracks left by a huge caterpillar. Worried about the dangers of the bug's fluid, Hao Tian gave everyone pills to prevent poisoning. Soon after, the group found themselves at a cave, the home of the giant caterpillar guarding its territory. Xiao Yin stepped up as the leader, bravely swinging his steel sword. But he soon realized that normal attacks didn't work on these creatures. After some effort, he used his steel cube sword to slice open the huge caterpillar. Though it was a tough end for the creature, they discovered a chest inside its belly. Carefully, Xiao Yin opened the chest and found a girl mysteriously trapped inside. As they left the cave, Suner took her new sister aside and mentioned that this woman seemed to have powerful energy, even stronger than theirs. But their conversation was suddenly interrupted when the woman appeared behind them, catching Xiao Yan's group by surprise. Before they knew it, the woman had taken Suner as a hostage and introduced herself as Yun from the Yunlan clan. She was upset with Xiao Yan for killing the caterpillar, explaining that she had hidden in the chest, knowing it would be swallowed by the creature because it was her strange way of traveling through the cave. But noticing Xiao Yan's ability to control fire, she made a deal. She would spare his friends if he helped her with something. It turned out that Xiao Yan was asked to go through a cave guarded by a rock monster. Using his fire-controlling ability, they managed to avoid getting trapped by the monster's illusions. As they moved forward, with Xiao Yan lighting the way with his flames, Yun dropped marbles behind them to help find their way back later. But somehow, they kept ending up back where they started, recognizing the marbles Yun had dropped before. Feeling frustrated, Xiao Yan came up with a new idea. He threw a dagger attached to a long rope towards the end of the cave, hoping they could follow the rope to find their way out. But they ended up back at the start again. Xiao Yan was getting tired from using his fire power so much, so he sat down to rest and took a pill to regain his energy before trying to escape again. At that time, Yun, feeling restless, decided to explore on her own. But when she stepped away from Xiao Yan's protective firelight, she got affected by the rock monster's hallucination poison. She started to act strangely, mistaking Xiao Yan for someone from her past and getting angry with him. Realizing she was under the influence of the illusion, Xiao Yan acted quickly, making her unconscious and dragging her to a small crevice nearby. They blocked the entrance with rocks to protect themselves from the monster's fumes. In the safety of their hideout, Xiao Yan noticed that Yun was hurt. Since he didn't have any medicine, he had to tear part of her clothes to treat her wound. As her condition worsened, she leaned on Xiao Yan for comfort and soon fell into a deep sleep. Worried about her, Xiao Yan searched through his magical ring and found some ancient medical texts. From them, he figured out how to make a remedy and gave it to Yun. When she woke up feeling better, Yun explained that her main reason for entering the tricky cave was to hunt for a treasure at the mountain's peak. Xiao Yan, noticing her rhino horn hairpin, realized that it might be the key to dealing with the rock monster since it seemed attracted to the horn. Soon after, Xiao Yan stepped out and tried talking to the monster. After some discussion, they made a deal that the monster would stop releasing the illusion smoke if it got the rhino horn. With that settled, Xiao Yan used his wings to fly with Yun to the mountain's peak. But when they got there, Yun realized they were in the wrong place. The treasure was actually hidden under a nearby lake. Deciding it wasn't worth the trouble, they both headed back. Later, Xiao Yan told his friends about their adventure. However, because he had left the group earlier, Master Han Feng decided to punish Xiao Yan and his team by not letting them hunt the next day. That evening at camp, Xiao Yan saw Yanran, who wanted to talk. Yanran shared that a group called the Hall of Souls was causing problems for 5 friendly clans. Since Xiao Yan had once fought Fan Lao, she wondered if he knew anything helpful. Xiao Yan shared that Fan Lao's blood had some strange bugs in it that could make people act like zombies. After hearing this, Yanran thanked him and left. Later, Xiao Yan noticed Master Han Feng trying to hide a ring he was wearing. Han Feng hinted that he knew Xiao Yan was hiding someone named Yao Chun, but Xiao Yan didn't want to talk about it and attacked him. Han Feng then tried to pressure Xiao Yan, mentioning a special fire power that defeated Bai Shan. It turned out that Han Feng was working with the Hall of Souls. They promised him something he really wanted, so he did bad things for them, including being involved in an attack on Yao Chun 7 years ago. There was also a rumor that Xiao Yan's mom was blamed for something she didn't do. Despite all this, Xiao Yan didn't reveal where Yao Chun was hiding. Instead, in a shocking move, he threw his sword and jumped into a deep ravine. The next day, Xiao Yan woke up feeling very weak. He stumbled into a cave and, to his surprise, found a girl on a lion. He asked her to get the medicine from his pocket to help him feel better. But the girl, named Xian, was busy talking about herself. She told him that she had been good with poison since she was little, thanks to her mom. But her skills got her into trouble, and her dad kicked her out. That's how she ended up in this forest with her cool purple-winged lion. Xian also mentioned that she recently had a fight with the Yunlan clan. Things got messy, and her lion got badly hurt. Just as Xiao Yan was trying to understand all this, he fainted. Then, Xian decided to help him by giving him his medicine. When he woke up, she showed him her lion, which was in bad shape. Xiao Yan checked the lion's injuries, but sadly told Xian that he couldn't do much. This news really upset Xian. She asked Xiaoyin to leave and started preparing a fire, wanting to stay with her lion until the end. Xiaoyin, trying to help, pointed out a baby lion inside a nearby crystal. But Xian wasn't interested. She felt lonely, thinking no one cared about her, not even her own dad. During a heated conversation, Xiaoyin told Xian how much he cared for her. He was so worried about her that he even suggested marrying her to keep her safe. Hearing this, Xian's heart warmed up. Together, they watched the Lion King's power fade away after they left the cave. Back at their camp, Xiaoyin shared a funny story. He said that the reason he disappeared the night before was because a huge dog, as big as Master Han Feng, chased after him. An old man came to his rescue, warning the dog to stay away or he would deal with it. But here's the twist. The dog was actually Master Han Feng, and the old man was Yao Chen. Once they were back at camp, Xiaoyin, worried about Xian's safety, asked her to hide in a chest. After a long day, the hunting event was finally over, and everyone returned to their school routine. Xian was secretly brought back to the academy, and Xiaoyin promised her that he would find a way to cure her poison. One day, in Master Gu Ye's class, Xiaoyin tried to look up medical information to help Xian. Instead, Master Gu Yi caught him napping in class. As a challenge, he asked Xiaoyin to practice using a spear. Later, when Xiaoyin returned to his room, he found Xian in bad shape because of the poison inside her. Xian had been trained with dangerous poison techniques since she was little, so her whole body was filled with poison. Interestingly, Xian could stay healthy because she was surrounded by poisonous creatures in the forest where she grew up. By absorbing their poison regularly, she stayed okay. But since coming to the academy, she hadn't been around those creatures, which made her weak. Unable to find a proper cure, Xiaoyin sneaked into Master Gu's room to steal a venomous snake. He let the snake bite Xian, which actually made her feel better. Afterward, Xian teased Xiaoyin, saying she knew he wasn't serious about wanting to marry her. But she was still very thankful that Xiaoyin always looked out for her. The next day, things started getting tense at the academy. Some of the masters began to suspect that Xian was hiding there. First, Master Gu noticed his snake was missing. Then, Master Tingshan got a message from the Yulan clan saying they believed Xian was at the academy. Soon after, Master Tingshan called Xiaoyin over and, being a kind master, asked him to tell the truth. Xiaoyin admitted that he was hiding Xian, but things took a turn when Xiaoyin returned to his room. Master Gu Yi was already there, and Xian looked trapped. Master Gu Yi revealed how he found out about Xian's secret hiding spot and mentioned that the Yulan clan would soon come to take her away. Sure enough, Yun from the Yulan clan arrived, ready to take Xian because she had hurt some of their members. But just then, the Ice King suddenly appeared. It turned out he was Xian's father, and he wasn't going to let anyone take his daughter. Seeing how powerful the Ice King was, Yun realized she was no match and decided to leave. After escaping, Xian told Xiaoyin that she believed he tried to poison Master Gu Yi. Later, when Xiaoyin met his dad thought Xian was going to be his wife. This made Xiaoyin nervous, and he quickly told his dad that he didn't want to marry Xian. After some talking, they convinced Xian to go home. Before she left, she gave Xiaoyin a powerful Lion King fire magic and a Lion King crystal. Then, something amazing happened. Xiaoyin discovered he could create fire like the Lion King. Soon after, Master Gu Yi came and said that Xian had poisoned him, so he needed help. Xiaoyin gave him something to make him feel better. Later, Xiaoyin visited his friend Yao Chun in the ring dimension. Yao Chun was very impressed by the Lion King fire. He started giving Xiaoyin advice, but before he could finish, Xiaoyin, being impatient, tried using the fire. This scared Yao Chun, and he ended up pushing Xiaoyin away. When Xiaoyin returned, he looked like he had a bad sunburn all over. Yao Chun explained that mixing his old fire skills with the Lion King fire could cause a big explosion, like what just happened to Xiaoyin. Xiaoyin, always thinking of new ideas, said he might use both fires to surprise his enemies. But Yao Chun warned him to be careful and to practice far away, or he'd get another push. The next day, Master Tingshan told everyone at the school that they were going to a big competition in the main city of the Chuyun Kingdom. Everyone set off, and when they arrived, Xiaoyin received a lot of gifts from the Ice King. His friends joked that it was because Xiaoyin was getting married. Xiaoyin then decided to visit the Ice King's place. When he got there, Xian greeted him. Xiaoyin quickly thought of many reasons why he couldn't marry her, explaining that he only offered to marry her before to help her out in a tough situation. The Ice King seemed angry and wanted to confront Xiaoyan. Xiaoyan got really scared, but it turned out they were just teasing him. The Ice King was okay with Xiaoyan not wanting to marry his daughter. During the visit, Xiaoyan also learned about a special fire called the Green Lotus Earthcore Fire, which belonged to Queen Medusa from the Snake Kingdom. Later, after talking with Master Tingshan, Xiaoyan met Yanran. She was very upset and asked Xiaoyan to help her grandpa, Nalan Jia. Nalan Jia had a serious problem with something called blood parasites, which were put in him by a man named Fan Lao. It turned out that Xiaoyan was the only one with a special fire power that could remove the parasites, but Xiaoyan refused to help at first. Soon after, Master Tingshan tried to convince Xiaoyan to help. He explained that Nalan Jia was an important member of the Five Clan Alliance, a group fighting against the evil Hall of Souls. If they didn't help Nalan Jia, things could get really bad. Xiaoyan agreed to help, but only if it was done secretly. Master Tingshan introduced Xiaoyan as a masked stranger. Xiaoyan used his fire skills to try to burn away the blood parasites. When he got tired, he switched to using the powerful Lion King fire. After doing his best, Xiaoyan was ready to leave without any thanks. He told them that his fire wasn't strong enough to completely get rid of the parasites. They would need a stronger fire, like the Green Lotus Earthcore fire. Soon after, Xiaoyan decided he wanted to visit the Snake Tribe village, so he asked the Ice King for help. But the Ice King didn't like Nalan Jia and told Xiaoyan to beat him in a challenge to get a map to the village. However, Yixian tricked the Ice King, making him weak, and quickly got the map from her dad's safe place. So, Xiaoyan and Yixian teamed up and headed to the Snake Clan. After some time, Xiaoyan and Yixian arrived at the Snake Clan village. When they got there, they saw the Snake Tribe and the Mo family in a big fight. The Mo family had some powerful weapons. But then, Xiaoyan and Yixian got caught in a net and were taken to a man named Mo Chung. Mo Chung demanded that they give him the Lion King fire, but Xiaoyan refused. Mo Chung then left to talk with Fan Lao. It turned out that the Mo family was working for the Hall of Souls, and they were planning to destroy the Snake Tribe. While Mo Chung was away, Xiaoyan and Yixian came up with a plan to take out the guard. But they discovered that the guard was just a dummy. The Lion King fire couldn't break the net they were trapped in, but some icy fire did the trick, and they escaped. Using the map from the Ice King, they found a secret way into the Snake Tribe's area. Xiaoyan sneaked into Queen Medusa's room and found the Green Lotus Earthcore fire. But then he heard someone coming and quickly hid. Queen Medusa entered the room to check on her special fire. Just then, another man named Mo Basie informed her that the Mo family was causing trouble at their front door. At that moment, Medusa became very sad when she heard some news. She wanted to absorb the Green Lotus Earthcore fire into herself. But Mo Basie, her loyal friend, warned her that it might be too dangerous. She didn't listen and tried anyway, but it caused her a lot of pain. Then, Xiaoyan, who had been secretly watching, stepped out. He introduced himself and said he wanted the fire. Medusa, now weak, turned into a snake. Xiaoyan quickly took the fire from her. He realized that the Snake Clan's place might be destroyed, so he told Medusa to trust him and come with him. Then, he put her in a bamboo pot. Xiaoyan quickly told his friend Yao Chun about the fire he had taken. With Yixian, he tried to fly away, but Xiaoyan became weak and fell into a forest. He told Yixian to leave, but as she was going, a strong wind blew her away. Xiaoyan then went into a special ring to heal in a magic potion that Yao Chun gave him. It reminded him of the time he had tried to train with the Icebone fire, and it hurt a lot. When he came out, he found Yixian crying because she was so worried about him. Meanwhile, back in the capital, Xiaoyan used the magic of his Green Lotus fire to help heal Nalan Jia. After feeling a bit better, Nalan Jia started wondering if Xiaoyan might be from the Hall of Souls, a group he didn't trust. He even said he'd rather not be healed at all than be helped by someone from that group. But Xiaoyan assured him that they were on the same side and both against the Hall of Souls. Later, when Xiaoyan was trying to relax in the evening, he suddenly sensed Fan Lao's presence, warning him about getting involved in too many things. At the same time, Master Tingshan arrived and shared some worrying news that Nalan Jia was sick again with blood parasite poison. Master Tingshan suspected that someone close to Nalan Jia, maybe one of his 3 sons who took care of his meals, might be responsible. To make things more complicated, Nalan Jia didn't want to be cured and didn't want any visitors. The next day, Nalan Jie decided that his granddaughter, Yanran, should be the next leader of the Nalan family. He thought her father wasn't strong enough and didn't trust his own two sons. When he announced his decision, Yanran's uncles were not happy. After his sons left, Nalan Jie asked to hear a song from his grandson. Not long after, there was a big ceremony to remember Nalan Jie after he passed away. The prince of the Chuyun kingdom, Yulan, attended the ceremony. Xiaoyan also came, and even though he didn't like Nalan Jie much, he respected the brave things Nalan Jie had done in his life. Soon after, the Chuyun kingdom held a big medicine competition. Fa Ma, an important figure in the kingdom, led the judges. Everyone was surprised when Fanling showed up, wanting to compete. He said he was from the Jiwa family. Some judges wanted him to leave, but Fa Ma explained that the Soul family was different from the evil Hall of Souls group. Fanling was allowed to stay and compete, but everyone kept a close watch on him. The first match started, and only the top 8 competitors who made the purest medicine would move on to the next round. Everyone was impressed by Fanling because he made his medicine without using a pot. Xiaoyan and a few others also did well and advanced to the next round. For the second match, Xiaoyan needed a stronger pot, so he went to Yao Chen to borrow one. Yao Chen gave him an old-looking pot that Xiaoyan didn't think was special at first. During the second match, the judges talked about how rare and valuable that old pot was. That's when Xiaoyan realized it was something special. Even Master Han Feng was impressed by it. In this round, the competitors had to make medicine from certain ingredients. Many of them got tired and gave up, leaving just Xiaoyan and Fanling. But suddenly, Xiaoyan's pot broke. Not wanting to lose, he copied Fanling's method of making medicine without a pot. In the end, both Xiaoyan and Fanling did well enough to move on. After the competition, Xiaoyan needed some quiet time to recover his energy. While he was resting, Yao Chen was a bit upset with him. He explained that the special pot got damaged because of Master Han Feng, who had caused the crack when he touched it. While Xiaoyan was away, some of his friends were having a meal when a messenger from the palace arrived with surprising news. They were told that Master Teng Shan was now wanted for trying to harm the emperor. Xiaoyan couldn't believe it. It also came out that Fa Ma was secretly working with the bad group called the Hall of Souls. Fa Ma had Master Teng Shan captured, using the emperor's name to do it. When it was time for the final round of the competition, neither Fa Ma nor Master Teng Shan were there. Only 3 judges watched the last match. It was a dangerous challenge where Xiaoyan and Fanling had to make a poison and then drink the other's poison. The one who could make the other person drink would win. In the end, Xiaoyan drank the poison Fanling made. After Xiaoyan drank Fanling's poison, Fanling drank Xiaoyan's poison. Soon, Xiaoyan started feeling the effects of the poison. Even though Fanling seemed okay at first, Xiaoyan made a quick move, and suddenly Fanling felt a burning sensation. They both tried to use their poison skills on each other, but neither could win. Seeing that they were both suffering, they decided to stop fighting and raised a white flag together, signaling that they both gave up. So, there was no clear winner in this match, but everyone watching was still impressed and clapped for them. Later, Xiaoyan and Fanling made peace, but Xiaoyan still felt sick from the poison. Yixian tried to help, but then Fanling revealed that the only cure for his poison was to drink some of his blood. When Xiaoyan heard he needed to drink blood as a cure, he thought about how some older students once drank Fan Lao's blood. He really didn't want to do that. Luckily, Yixian figured out how to help Xiaoyan using her own blood. So, Xiaoyan got better after drinking some of her blood. Later, Yanran met with Xiaoyan and told him that the crown prince wanted to talk to them. In this private meeting, Yulan shared a big secret. He revealed that he was being controlled by the bad group called the Hall of Souls, like a puppet. It turns out that the story about Master Teng Shan trying to harm the emperor was completely made up. Yulan believed that the Hall of Souls had captured Master Teng Shan and asked Xiaoyan and Yanran for help to uncover the truth. With Yanran's help, Xiaoyan sneaked into the royal palace through a hidden passage. Inside, they noticed that the people in charge and the workers were acting like they were being controlled, just like puppets. But then, they got caught, and soldiers started chasing them. Inside the palace, things were getting strange. Master Teng Shan was being held captive by Fa Ma to make things even weirder. Fa Ma brought out Nalan Jie, who looked and acted like a puppet. Master Teng Shan was shocked because he thought Nalan Jie was dead, since he had even attended his funeral. Fa Ma explained that he had dug up Nalan Jie from his grave and turned him into a puppet for the Hall of Souls. Fa Ma then gave Master Teng Shan a tough choice: Either work for him willingly or become a puppet too. Elsewhere, after a failed attempt to sneak into the palace the night before, Xiaoyan decided to try again, this time with the help of Suner and Han Xian. But they were unexpectedly stopped by the emperor himself. However, this emperor wasn't normal because his soul was controlled. After a tough fight, Xiaoyan managed to defeat him, and then something eerie happened. Fan Lao's spirit suddenly flew out of the emperor. Yanran quickly removed a special jade stone from the emperor's body just as Crown Prince Yulan arrived. Yanran then shared that her grandfather, Nalan Yanran, had placed this jade in the emperor's body a long time ago as a protective charm to prevent the Hall of Souls' dark magic from completely taking over. Using the special jade, Yanran helped the emperor regain his senses. Grateful for their help, the emperor decided it was time to step down and let Crown Prince Yulan take over. He also thanked everyone who had saved him and announced that he would temporarily close the palace to figure out how the Hall of Souls had taken control. The story continued with Xiaoyan catching up with Yao Chun to talk about his strange sword that started glowing red after touching Fan Lao's blood. Yao Chun checked it out and felt something was wrong. He warned Xiaoyan not to use the sword because it was a dangerous weapon from the Hall of Souls. But Xiaoyan, being stubborn, didn't want to give it up. Later, Crown Prince Yulan became the new emperor. When he wanted to thank Xiaoyan with a gift, Xiaoyan had only one request: to clear Master Tong Shan's name and find him since he was still missing. Yulan agreed and asked advisor Fa Ma to start the search. After that, Yulan organized a special event for all the academy students. He showed them a painting made by the god of fighting. This wasn't just any painting because every 6 years, people could walk into it, and today was that day. The students got a chance to enter the magic painting to find rare medicines, but they had only 2 hours. If they didn't get out in time, they'd be stuck inside for 60 years. Yulan warned everyone to stay in the front part of the mountain in the painting because the back was very dangerous. But Xiaoyan's friends saw a strange animal and ran after it, heading straight to the dangerous area. Worried, Xiaoyan and his friend Suner followed them. They ended up in a cave full of treasures like magic crystals and special medicines. Xiaoyan thought Yao Chun would like these, so he gathered some. But Yao Chun was not happy. He told Xiaoyan to leave the painting quickly. Xiaoyan realized his friends were too tempted by the treasures in the cave. They even found 2 people who seemed trapped there. Now, everyone was trying to leave, but they kept going in circles and couldn't find the exit. After a while, they got scared and started arguing. Xiaoyan noticed that one person had disappeared. He felt like someone was watching them. Then, they caught an old man who had been pretending to be dead. The old man said he had been in the painting for 60 years and didn't want to leave because it felt like home. He showed them the way out of the cave. Time was running out. Outside, the painting looked like it was on fire. They thought the entrance was burning, but it was Fan Ling who caused the fire at the exit. When Xiaoyan got there, he saw other students too scared to go through the gate because of the poisonous fog created by Fan Ling. Xiaoyan managed to block several attacks from Fan Ling, but suddenly he felt a lot of pain and lost control of his body. Fan Ling then revealed that the poison Xiaoyan drank during the competition yesterday made him bound by a blood contract with the Hall of Souls. One day, Xiaoyan would have to serve them. At that moment, Fan Ling, who was also Fan Lao's son, made it clear. When Xiaoyan couldn't move, Suner stepped in and confronted Fan Ling. She reminded him of the valuable item given by Yi Xian the day before. This made Xiaoyan take out an antidote from the anti-poison green crystal. After curing himself, Xiaoyan told Fan Ling that the poison couldn't work because he added a drop of fire power to it. Then, Xiaoyan burned Fan Ling to ashes. Soon after, the exit gate of the painting caught fire. Xiaoyan held onto a falling tree to keep the door open and urged everyone to leave quickly. They were sad because they thought Xiaoyan didn't make it out. As the painting was almost destroyed, Xiaoyan was suddenly thrown out, unconscious. In another scene, Xiaoyan's soul is shown inside a ring held by Yao Chun. It turns out Yao Chun had saved Xiaoyan once again from the danger. Yao Chun then confirmed that what Fan Ling said was true. Xiaoyan would never be able to remove the blood poison from his body. Even though Xiaoyan used his fire power to stop the poison from taking control, it still posed a danger of turning him into a puppet for the Hall of Souls. Yao Chun strongly warned Xiaoyan not to use the soul-destroying sword, which contained dark knowledge from the Hall of Souls. He didn't want Xiaoyan to be tempted by the evil secrets of the organization. After this, Emperor Yulan learned about his father's death. During the funeral, something strange happened. The coffin suddenly opened, and everyone passed out, except Yulan. His father's body came out, but it was actually possessed by Fan Lao, who wanted to talk to Yulan. Fan Lao shared some worrying news. The 5 alliance clans were getting weaker, while the Hall of Souls was growing more powerful across all continents. He offered Yulan the chance to not only become the emperor of the Chuyun kingdom, but also rule the entire world if Yulan would serve him. Fan Lao promised to fulfill all of Yulan's desires. Despite the tempting offer, Yulan firmly rejected it and declared his hostility toward the Hall of Souls. Meanwhile, Xiaoyan, despite Yao Qin's warning, couldn't resist his curiosity. He took off his ring, thinking Yao Qin wouldn't find out if he explored the soul-destroying sword's knowledge without it. But inside the ring, Yao Qin sensed that Xiaoyan had ignored his advice. Yao Qin became furious and pulled Xiaoyan into the ring's dimension. Yao Qin felt deeply disappointed, but Xiaoyan defended himself. He explained that he had no choice but to learn the Hall of Souls knowledge because he wanted to find Master Tingshan, who had been missing for a long time. The skill Xiaoyan learned allowed him to send out his spirit to find anyone he wished. Xiaoyan repeatedly assured Yao Qin that he wouldn't turn to the dark side or serve the Hall of Souls, as Yao Qin feared. However, Yao Qin didn't approve and insisted that Xiaoyan get rid of the ring and never use it again. After leaving, Xiaoyan continued to learn how to release spirits. Eventually, he found Master Tingshan in his astral form and saw that Master Tingshan was being held hostage by Fa Ma, even though Fa Ma threatened him. Master Tingshan refused to serve the Hall of Souls. Fa Ma then gave Master Tingshan one last chance to decide, saying that Fan Lao would meet him again tomorrow. Seeing all this through his spiritual powers, Xiaoyan told his friends, and they planned to ambush Fa Ma the next day. The next day, Fa Ma had visitors from 5 Jianan Academy students. Master Gu was also hiding there, showing that he was part of the Hall of Souls. But when they arrived, Fa Ma left to meet Fan Lao and told him that Xiaoyan, who had killed Fan Ling, was there. Fan Lao explained that Xiaoyan was bound by a blood contract, and even though it wasn't affecting him now, he would eventually join the Hall of Souls. Because of this, Fan Lao didn't want to hurt Xiaoyan and didn't need Master Tong Shen's loyalty anymore. So, he asked Fa Ma to release Master Tingshan. After this, Fa Ma gave some medicine to the unconscious Master Tingshan and punched him. Then he met with Xiaoyan and claimed he had found Master Tingshan. But Xiaoyan, knowing it was a lie, asked how he could have found him. Fa Ma showed footprints with blood, but when Master Tingshan woke up, it seemed like Fa Ma had erased his memory. So, Xiaoyan decided to return to the academy. That night, Xiaoyan was joined by Mo Baisi and his snake tribe friends. Meanwhile, Medusa, who had turned back into her human form, was angry at Xiaoyan for taking her green lotus earth core fire. Xiaoyan offered to return the fire, but warned that it might be dangerous for Medusa. Eventually, Medusa agreed to make peace, and Xiaoyan promised to return her to her containment tube. He was also given a flute to call for help if needed. After that, Xiaoyan went back to the academy and used his spirit separation technique. This time, he saw 3 traitors working for the Hall of Souls. He felt upset when he heard that Master Han Feng wanted to kill him. This made Fa Ma realize that someone's soul was watching them, even though they knew it was being done with the spirit-releasing technique. Fa Ma thought it might be the work of the Hall of Souls leaders because this knowledge was unique to them. Fa Ma then visited Jianan Academy and told the masters that Master Tingshan was a traitor. Master Tingshan, who seemed to have lost his memory, couldn't defend himself when questioned by everyone. As a result, he was stripped of his status as a master guide and became a lowly worker. Soon after, Xiaoyan approached Master Tingshan and urged him to stop pretending. He knew that Fa Ma, Master Han Feng, and Master Gu were the real traitors. However, Master Tingshan didn't respond. Then, Master Han Feng took the chance to frame Xiaoyan, who was secretly talking with Master Tingshan, the suspected accomplice. They accused Xiaoyan of being a spy for the Hall of Souls and locked him up in a hot yin-yang tower. To make things worse, all of Xiaoyan's friends were also imprisoned, accused of being part of Master Tong Shen's plot. In this difficult situation, Xiaoyan blew the flute, calling for help from Mo Baisi, who quickly arrived. Mo Baisi hinted that there was a giant snake, the ancestor of all snakes, beneath the volcanic lava. Using this clue, Xiaoyan called the snake for help. The snake's powerful movement caused an earthquake, scaring the guards away. Soon after, Master Han Feng and Master Gu arrived and found that their captives had disappeared. After checking, Master Gu concluded that Xiao Yin and the others had escaped through an underground tunnel leading to the Black Forest. Master Han Feng immediately ordered the guards to surround the Black Forest. Meanwhile, Xiao Yin and his group, including Master Ting Shan, who had been pretending to lose his memory, managed to escape through the volcanic tunnel. They explored the long underground cave within the volcano and stumbled upon guards patrolling near the forest. Even though Master Ting Shan had lost his chi power, he encouraged them to keep moving and find a way out. On the other side, Master Han Feng and Master Gu continued to accuse Xiao Yin and Master Tang Shan of being members of the Hall of Souls. They also accused Master Ruolin and other defending masters of being part of the conspiracy. As a result, Ruolin and the other masters were imprisoned. After 3 days of traveling through the volcanic tunnel, Xiao Yin and his group miraculously reached a place that looked like an inn. The staff there treated them kindly and explained that they were in the Valley of Criminals. Master Tang Shan was surprised because he thought this place was just a legend, but it actually existed. This valley, deep beneath the earth, was a gathering spot for criminals, and it was believed that once you entered, you couldn't leave. When they tried to pay for their meals, they discovered that money wasn't accepted in the valley. Instead, the bill had to be paid through 2 arena fights. Before going to the arena, the staff asked them to wear masks because this place didn't care about anyone's background or identity. In the arena, Han Xian won his fight easily. Afterward, Xiao Yin asked for a doctor to treat Master Tang Shan, who was in poor health after being held hostage. Soon, a skilled doctor arrived and examined Master Tang Shan, assuring them that he would recover with treatment and regain his strength within a month. Master Tang Shan guessed that this healer was Lin Yu, known as the Holy Hand. When Xiao Yin returned, he received 2 arena fight tickets from Lin Yu as payment for the medical services. Before leaving, Lin Yu warned Xiao Yin, saying that an evil aura surrounded his body. Xiao Yin knew this warning was about his study of the Hall of Souls knowledge. Soon after, Master Tang Shan warned that Xiao Yin should have already fallen ill and been affected by this evil aura. He suspected that someone had been secretly protecting Xiao Yin from these dangers. Xiao Yin suddenly realized that Yao Chun was the one who had been silently watching over him. However, Yao Chun had disappeared ever since Xiao Yin started studying the spirit separation technique. After this, Xiao Yin entered the arena to cover Master Tang Shan's medical expenses by defeating his opponent. The chief of the Valley of Villains was impressed by Xiao Yan's skills and offered him a life of comfort and luxury. But Xiao Yin refused and asked for guidance on how to leave the valley. The chief agreed to show him the way out if Xiao Yin could rank among the top 10 fighters in the valley. Xiao Yin accepted the challenge and entered the ring, but Yao Chun avoided him. Feeling desperate, Xiao Yin removed the ring and offered his blood again to gain knowledge from the Hall of Souls. Suddenly, he felt like he was pulled into the dimension of his steel sword, where he met someone who looked like Fan Lao. This person claimed to be a reincarnated soul summoned by Xiao Yan's blood offering. He offered to teach Xiao Yin the knowledge and combat techniques from the Hall of Souls. If Xiao Yin could defeat him later, he would be set free. But if Xiao Yin failed, he would be trapped in this dimension forever. The next day, Xiao Yin received training and instruction from this mysterious person, who also encouraged him to nurture hatred to become stronger. Sooner noticed the change in Xiao Yan's attitude and scolded him. Concerned about Xiao Yan's obsession with the power of the hall, Master Tang Shan reminded him that the ring he wore was a source of goodness to fight the darkness inside him. Master Tang Shan understood the challenges Xiao Yin was facing and advised him that the greatest victory is defeating one's inner demon. Xiao Yin took this advice to heart and apologized to Sooner, even though she seemed disappointed. Still, Sooner continued to support him. Afterward, Xiao Yin returned to the sword dimension to continue his training. This time, he learned a deadly fighting technique. During the training, the reincarnated figure from the Hall of Souls reminded him that tomorrow was his last chance to fight in the arena. To help Xiao Yin become one of the top 10 fighters, he promised to teach him one final technique. However, if Xiao Yin failed to defeat him tomorrow, he would be trapped in that dimension forever. The reincarnated soul then urged Xiao Yin to embrace his killer instinct to use the knowledge he had learned more effectively. This led to Xiao Yin facing a life-and-death battle in the arena. Afterward, Xiao Yin confronted the reincarnated soul again and made it clear that he refused to take anyone's life except for the reincarnated soul himself. Xiao Yin believed that if the Hall of Souls didn't exist, his mother wouldn't have abandoned him. The next day, during the final battle, Xiaoyan refused to kill his defeated opponent. However, the opponent did not give up and tried to attack Xiaoyan again. At that moment, another soul appeared and tried to force Xiaoyan to kill his opponent in the arena, even strangling him. But Xiaoyan stayed strong and defeated the soul instead. He then realized that this soul was actually a reflection of himself. Afterward, Xiaoyan entered the ring to find Yao Chen. In the middle of a desert storm, he found a small hut where Yao Chen was tending a fire. Xiaoyan knelt down and apologized, promising not to study the Hall of Souls' dark knowledge anymore. He understood that Yao Chen had sacrificed himself to protect him from the Hall's evil influence. Yao Chen explained that the light in the fire represented Xiaoyan's life, and as long as it burned, he would live. Outside, the storm symbolized the evil within Xiaoyan, which he had defeated. Now, he just needed to wait for the storm to pass, freeing him from the Hall's control. He could now use the Hall of Souls techniques without being consumed by evil. After leaving the ring, Xiaoyan used his spirit technique to block an attack from his opponent. He then met the leader of the criminal valley, asking for a way out. At the same time, Xiaoyan criticized the chairman for running an arena that risked people's lives. He even suggested that the chairman come with him to the outside world, where life was better. In the end, those who escaped the valley discovered that the leader looked a lot like Sooner. Xiaoyan, now a fugitive wrongly accused of being a spy for the Hall of Souls, went to the capital and met the Ice King. Xiaoyan explained his situation and revealed that Fa Ma was a servant of the Hall of Souls. The Ice King said they had recently caught someone who looked like a living corpse and suspected Fa Ma was behind it. He asked Xiaoyan to wait for a signal, while he sneaked into Fa Ma's place to investigate. The Ice King tried to infiltrate but was discovered. Although he fought hard, he was eventually surrounded by undead and captured. In front of Fa Ma, the Ice King pretended to surrender but then suddenly attacked, killing Fa Ma. However, Fa Ma reappeared, and the Ice King killed him again. This strange cycle continued until the Ice King finally gave up and was taken to a torture chamber, where he was threatened to become Fa Ma's puppet. Fa Ma then found the Ice King's whistle and blew it. Xiaoyan, thinking the Ice King was calling for him, rushed to the location. But Fa Ma, who had learned a splitting technique, surprised them and captured both Xiaoyan and the Ice King. Xiaoyan, curious about Fa Ma's abilities, asked how he could perform the splits. Fa Ma explained it was a soul-splitting technique. Using his own knowledge, Xiaoyan quickly countered by attacking Fa Ma from behind. Later, Xiaoyan entered the ring dimension to find out where the real Fa Ma was. Yao Chen told him that Fa Ma was inside the Hall of Souls headquarters, at the sacrificial altar. Xiaoyan knew the way and asked the Ice King to watch over his body. Summoning his sword, he entered the dimension where he had been trained by the former Hall of Souls leader. Soon after, Xiaoyan arrived at the northern tip of the continent, where the Hall of Souls is located. He entered the altar and saw many bodies hanging from chains, including his deceased mother and the chain that once held Yao Chen. Memories of Yao Chen being held captive there flooded back. These bodies belonged to those who had died while serving the Hall of Souls. Xiaoyan finally found Fa Ma's real body hanging there. To his surprise, Fa Ma said he had been waiting for Xiaoyan for a long time. Fa Ma explained that he had been a prisoner of the Hall of Souls and that all his actions were forced. He begged Xiaoyan to destroy him using the Icebone core. After Xiaoyan did this, the chains in the altar began to shake, and the burning Fa Ma warned Xiaoyan to escape quickly. Eventually, Fa Ma's body was consumed by the fire and disappeared, along with all his clones. With Fa Ma's death, the undead puppets he had created lost their powers. This caused all of Emperor Yilan's bodyguards and servants, who were under Fa Ma's control, to suddenly vanish. As a result, Emperor Yilan cleared Master Tong Shan's name and reinstated him as a master guide at Jianan Academy. Soon after, Master Ruolin was released from captivity, and Xiaoyan and his friends were allowed to return to the academy. Sometime later, Yanran received a visit from Yulan Sect, the leader of the Yulan clan. Yulan Sect came to warn Yanran about the growing power of the Hall of Souls. He wanted to know if Yanran was ready to sacrifice her life to protect their clan. Meanwhile, Xiaoyan and Sooner found a letter from their father explaining the problems they were facing. They were given permission to leave the academy and return home. After saying goodbye to their mentors and friends at the academy, the two siblings returned home. But when they arrived, the estate administrator gave them bad news. He said that the medicine they were guarding had been stolen. Inside the house, Xiaoyan found his father, who was both angry about the theft and happy to see his children back home. After paying respects at his mother's grave, Xiaoyan put on his disguise again to deal with the Xiao family's problem with the drug dealers' union. Before starting his investigation, his father told him to learn the ancestral lion's anger technique. Later, Xiaoyan, using a fake identity, set up the drug delivery. Realizing they were being watched and targeted for more than just robbery, Xiaoyan confronted the attackers. He scolded them for their real goal, which was to eliminate the Xiao family guards who lacked internal strength. Afterward, one of the attackers confessed to being part of a wolf pack, leading Xiaoyan to their headquarters. There, he encountered a stylish group of fighters showing off their skills, but Xiaoyan easily defeated them with a single strike. As Xiaoyan continued his journey, he was ambushed again, this time by 3 masked attackers who were stronger than the previous ones. He entered his spirit realm to ask Yao Chun for help, learning sword techniques since he couldn't use his large sword while in disguise. With the sword skills he learned from Yao Chin's Star Pavilion clan, Xiaoyan defeated the 3 attackers. When the masked attackers refused to reveal who they were, Xiaoyan suspected they were from the Yunlan clan and criticized its leader, Yun Shan. To his surprise, Yun Shan appeared and attacked him. However, Yun Shan didn't kill him because he thought Xiaoyan was a disciple of Master Han Feng, who was skilled in the Star Pavilion sword style. Although Xiaoyan was seriously injured and his blood vessels burst, he and Yao Chun considered it lucky because this helped purify the fire essence Xiaoyan had been studying. After returning from his mission, Xiaoyan told the leaders of the drug dealers' union about the attack. He explained that the attackers' main goal was to kill the Xiao family guards who lacked internal strength. He believed that the Wolf Pack and Yunlan clan members were not the real masterminds. They were hired by someone else. The next day, Xiaoyan met with the leader of the Wolf Pack, who revealed that the Mo family was behind the attacks on the Xiao family. The Mo family had hired their group for this purpose. Xiaoyan then discussed a plan with Medusa and Mo Basi, suggesting they work together to defeat their common enemy, the Mo family. Soon after, Xiaoyan went to the Mo family headquarters. When Mo Chung saw the green lotus earth core fire, he remembered Xiaoyan, whom he had captured before. Xiaoyan offered to make a deal with Mo Chung, promising to give him the green lotus earth core fire and Medusa if Mo Chung revealed who had ordered the Mo family to attack the Xiao family. Without hesitation, Xiaoyan handed over the earth core and Medusa, who was still in her tube. Xiaoyan knew that Mo Chung was being tricked into giving him to the real culprits behind the Mo family schemes, with Fan Lao being the main one. But Mo Chung didn't realize this and thought he was lucky to catch Xiaoyan. While being held, Xiaoyan didn't just sit there. He gave a special summoning flute to Qing Lin, a lady from the snake tribe who was also captured and forced to work there. Qing Lin used the flute to summon Mo Basi, and they all discussed their escape plan. The next day, as Xiaoyan was being moved to face Fan Lao, Mo Chung felt victorious. He placed the green lotus earth fire core inside his body, unaware of the plan unfolding around him. Meanwhile, Qing Lin, busy with a ritual, made a surprise move. She summoned Medusa, who trapped Mo Chung. Mo Chung, thinking he had the upper hand, threatened to burn them. But when he tried to use the fire, it backfired, and he ended up burning himself. Medusa explained that the fire core wasn't for just anyone to use, and Mo Chung turned to ashes. After recovering the fire core, Medusa asked Qing Lin to give it to Xiaoyan. At that time, Mo Basi ambushed the Mo family officials who were moving Xiaoyan, and they couldn't resist. Soon after, Qing Lin handed over both the fire core and Medusa to Xiaoyan, passing on Medusa's thanks. Mo Basi was also grateful because Xiaoyan had defeated the Mo family, who had been causing trouble for the snake tribe. Back at home, Xiaoyan told everyone about his adventure and how he tricked the Mo family, leading to the fall of Mo Chung and other important officials. He believed Fan Lao would finish off the rest of the Mo family, especially with the rumors Xiaoyan spread about their loyalty. Xiaoyan hadn't forgotten those who had wronged his family and reminded everyone of his promise to duel with Yanran in 3 years. Xiaoyan was also set on getting back at those who made his mother suffer. But his father seemed uneasy with his strong determination, which puzzled Xiaoyan and made him wonder why his father seemed to have lost his courage. The next day, Xiaoyan's father opened the family library, ready to share high-level knowledge with him, keeping an old promise. Together with the elders, they performed a special ritual to open this treasure of knowledge. But there was a condition. Before accessing the library, his father asked Xiaoyan to promise he wouldn't duel with Yanran, recalling an agreement made 3 years ago. But Xiaoyan, firm in his decision, chose to keep his promise rather than gain the family knowledge. Then, something unexpected happened. Xiaoyan woke up in a library on fire. He rushed out to find a chaotic scene where the elders and guards were gone. His father, along with other elders, accused him of causing this disaster. Xiaoyan, shocked and hurt, denied the accusations, but he found 2 scrolls of knowledge hidden in his waist, making him look like the thief and the cause of all the trouble. Heartbroken, his father cast Xiaoyan out, declaring he was no longer part of the Xiao family. That's when Sooner stepped in, offering her support and staying by Xiaoyan's side. Xiaoyan, feeling abandoned and confused, couldn't remember how he ended up in this mess. In sadness, Xiaoyan shared his story with Yao Chun, who didn't seem too concerned. Yao Chun commented that being stuck in a ring was worse than being thrown out by family, suggesting Xiaoyan's situation wasn't the worst. Next, Sooner suggested taking Xiaoyan to the desert border. She mentioned how his dad had once said that if they ever needed a place to escape, the desert was it. Xiaoyan then shared that he had family there, 2 older cousins who led the Xiao family army, whom he hadn't seen in a long time. When they reached the desert, Xiaoyan's cousins, Xiao Ding and Xiao Li, welcomed him warmly. They had heard the rumors about Xiaoyan being kicked out for causing trouble and burning down the library, but they didn't believe it and were glad to see him. After settling in at the Xiao family base, Xiao Ding introduced Xiaoyan and Sooner as part of the family. Things were going fine, with some forced celebrations and toasting, until suddenly, they were attacked by another group. Seeing the troublemakers, Xiaoyan stepped up, ready to fight. After the fight, Xiaoyan returned to toasting with his older brothers. He took a drink, smiled, and then, lights out. He passed out. While he was out, the Xiao family, busy with a delivery mission, got into another conflict with a rival group seeking revenge. Luckily, Xiaoyan woke up just in time and dealt with the enemies. But one of them insulted him, calling him a traitor. It turned out that his dad had spread the word about Xiaoyan's supposed wrongdoing and kicked him out of the family, making it known everywhere. In the evening, Xiaoyan sat quietly, thinking about how he and his mom were labeled as traitors. It was hard to accept, but Xiao Ding came around, giving him some encouraging words. The next day, the group was on a delivery mission, passing through an area controlled by the Snake Tribe, which wasn't friendly territory. Usually, they'd take a detour to avoid trouble, but with Xiaoyan, who knew the area well, they decided to go straight through. When Xiaoyan arrived, he met Qing Lin, and soon after, Mo Basi appeared and showed him respect. Xiaoyan then introduced his brothers and asked if they could pass through. Because of Xiaoyan's good standing with the tribe, Mo Basi quickly gave them permission. While staying in the desert, Xiao Ding told Xiaoyan about some family issues. The Gu clan, where Sooner comes from, was facing some internal problems that might require Sooner to return home. Xiao Ding explained that the Gu clan, also known as the Dragon Clan or Dragon Family, lives on Dragon Island. This large family is spread across 4 islands, led by a main group called the Dragon Mother. But the Dragon Mother from Sooner's clan is missing, and now the other 3 clans are causing trouble for Sooner's family. The next day, Sooner's dad visited the desert to check on his daughter and Xiaoyan. However, Sooner wasn't happy to see him. She gave him a cold look and walked away. Gu Yuan, Sooner's dad, was glad to see his nephew, Xiaoyan, all grown up. He even mentioned how much Xiaoyan reminded him of his late sister. With some persuasion from Xiaoyan, Sooner eventually talked to her dad, who wanted to bring her home and explain the family issues. Sooner, who liked to call her dad uncle, didn't hold back. She reminded him how he had left her with the Xiao family, and she had been a Xiao since she was a little girl. She made it clear that she didn't want anything to do with him or the past he represented. But when she saw her dad in tears, she softened. She decided to go back with him, but not before hugging Xiaoyan goodbye and giving him her family's pearl necklace, promising she would return. Meanwhile, Xiaoyan's dad heard about some spies from the Yulan clan snooping around. He took action, tracked them to a shop near their home, and dealt with them. But this led to more trouble. A man named Yun Shou, a leader from the Yulan clan, came seeking revenge for the spies Xiaoyan's dad had taken out. During the confrontation, 2 elders from the Xiao family were killed. The next day, Xiaoyan was with his 2 older brothers in the desert when they were invited into a secret room at their base. Inside, they found the Xiao family's ancestral altar, and there was talk of a hidden door that Xiao Yin was supposed to enter to discover some family secret. When he went inside, he saw all the family's books and scrolls neatly arranged. It turned out that the whole incident of Xiao Yin being accused of murder and burning the family library was actually a setup by his own father. His dad had framed him and kicked him out of the family to keep him safe from the many enemies the Xiao family had. Unfortunately, Xiao Yin didn't know any of this and was just excitedly gathering all the knowledge and storing it in the ring dimension. Yao Chun, watching all of this, felt a bit overwhelmed by the amount of scrolls Xiao Yin was collecting. But thanks to Yao Chun, Xiao Yin started to piece things together. He began to suspect that his father had staged the burning of the family's knowledge collections and spread the news everywhere, even though all the family's knowledge was still safely hidden, waiting for Xiao Yin to learn. Meanwhile, Xiao Zhan found out that some of his soldiers had been killed by the Yunlan clan elders. Seeing this, he told every member of the Xiao family to ditch their family robes and leave to stay safe. Eventually, Xiao Zhan was the only one left, and he drowned his sorrows in alcohol, waiting for the inevitable as 13 elders of the Yunlan clan showed up. Even though he was ready for the end, he didn't pay them any attention. Meanwhile, Xiao Yin, deep into reading a knowledge scroll, suddenly became very sleepy and found himself in a strange place. To his surprise, he was greeted by Xiao Zhu, an ancestor of the Xiao family who was thousands of years old. Xiao Yan's fighting skills were no match for him. Xiao Zhu revealed that he was sent by Xiao Yan's dad to train him. He was the guardian of all the Xiao family treasures. 1,000 years ago, a fighting god gave Xiao Zhu a special medicine that made him sleep for 60 years at a time. He would only be awake for 30 days before falling asleep again for another 60 years. Xiao Zhu didn't hesitate to point out how weak Xiao Yin was, but he promised to teach him everything he wanted to know. He had one simple rule: Xiao Yin had to stay there until he could defeat Xiao Zhu in a fight. Even though Xiao Yin was improving quickly, he was still far from beating Xiao Zhu. Then, Xiao Yin was surprised when Xiao Zhu started making a chest, saying it was for Xiao Yin to sleep in. Xiao Zhu mentioned that 60 years of sleep is a long time, so he wanted the chest to be comfortable. He believed Xiao Yin wouldn't be able to win against him in the next 15 days, so he was preparing the chest. Xiao Yin wasn't happy about this. He pointed out that with their age difference, defeating Xiao Zhu was almost impossible. And if he spent 60 years sleeping there, the Hall of Souls would destroy the world. But Xiao Zhu didn't care. He thought that if Xiao Yin couldn't beat him, leaving wouldn't help anyway. Xiao Yin felt trapped, unable to stop the Hall of Souls and their evil plans. Feeling stuck, Xiao Yin decided to tell Yao Chen everything, hoping they could team up to defeat Xiao Zhu. But Yao Chen didn't think it would work. As Yao Chen playfully tapped Xiao Yin on the chest, he felt that it was Suner's broken dragon pearl. Yao Chen explained that this pearl represented Suner's life. Nothing from the outside could break it, so the fact that it was broken was a serious warning that Suner was in trouble. Meanwhile, Suner had returned to Dragon Island and was searching for the mother dragon in the Valley of Lightning. But on her way, a messenger from the Hall of Souls created an illusion where it seemed like Xiao Yin didn't care about Suner. Despite this, she shook off the illusion and kept going, but a lightning strike hit her, knocking her unconscious. At the same time, Xiao Yin was still fighting hard, trying his best to defeat Xiao Zhu so he could leave. He was shocked to learn that Xiao Zhu was the strongest person in the past, living only to learn and love martial arts. Xiao Yin felt like Xiao Zhu was pushing him to become the top fighter in the world, but that wasn't what Xiao Yin wanted. Xiao Yin just wanted to get better at martial arts to fight the Hall of Souls and protect the people he cared about. He really wanted to leave, but Xiao Zhu was firm. Xiao Yin could only leave if he managed to defeat him. While in this ring dimension, Xiao Yin told Yao Chen that, yes, he loves martial arts and even dreams of creating his own style, but what he loves more are his family and friends, especially his friend who he's really worried about now. Day by day, he kept training with Xiao Zhu, but there was no sign of him winning, and time was running out with only 10 days left. Feeling stuck and worried about Suner, Xiao Yin could only look at her pearls. Now, let's move to Dragon Island. Gu Yuan and his father are dealing with 3 other dragon families. Suddenly, Fan Lao shows up, showing off the dragon mother pearl he has. It turns out, Fan Lao is behind the trouble between these 3 families and Suner's family. He says these 3 groups now follow him. Suner's granddad, wanting to protect his family, decides to team up with Fan Lao. Back in the Valley of Lightning, Suner wakes up, saved by the mother dragon. The dragon tells her she's trapped in the valley because Fan Lao took her pearl, and she can't leave. The dragon mother sees Sooner as the future leader who can unite the Gu clan. She gives Sooner all her power and skills and asks her to defeat Fan Lao using her family's golden bow. The incomplete 3,000 lightning movement scrolls in the Shao family's library are actually finished by the dragon mother. She warns Sooner about her big responsibilities ahead and suggests she forget about Shao Yin to focus on protecting the Gu clan by getting some ancient jade from the Shao family. Then, something unexpected happens and Sooner leaves with her golden bow. Back to Sooner's granddad, things start to go wrong after he drinks Fan Lao's blood. He begins to lose control and, not wanting to be Fan Lao's puppet, he decides to break his own life pearl. When Fan Lao finds out about this betrayal, he gets angry and orders an attack on Sooner's family. Next, we see Gu Yuan standing alone after the battle, facing all the enemies. But then, surprise, Sooner arrives, announcing she's the new dragon mother. She then takes down the 3 leaders who attacked her family as they try to escape. Finally, Sooner confronts Fan Lao. He's shocked to see how much stronger she is now, so he decides to run away. The next day, Yao Qin gives Shao Yin advice on creating his own fighting technique. He tells him to forget all the techniques he's learned so far if he wants to create something new. This gives Shao Yin a brilliant idea, and he gets ready to fight alongside Xiao Zhu on their last day. Without delay, Shao Yin uses a soul-splitting technique and combines it with all the powers he's learned. But it's still not enough to beat Xiao Zhu. In a daring move, Shao Yin brings out 2 types of fire cores, the Icebone Fire Core and the Lion King Fire Core. Then, he tries to mix them together. At that moment, Shao Yin even brings out a third one, the Green Lotus Earth Fire Core. After some effort, he manages to combine the 3 fire cores into a new technique, something Xiao Zhu has never seen before. Exhausted, Shao Yin passes out. Xiao Zhu tries to control the fire core, but it backfires, and he's hit by the blast from the attack. When Shao Yin wakes up, Xiao Zhu admits he's impressed by Shao Yan's ability to create such an amazing technique. He decides not to keep Shao Yin there any longer, even though he hasn't technically defeated him. Soon after, Xiao Zhu asks Shao Yin to name his new fire-combining technique, and Shao Yin calls it the Flame Essence of Youthful Anger. Suddenly, Xiao Zhu gave Shao Yin a special medicine called a soul-restoring pill. In this world, only the 2 of them have taken it. The medicine gives Shao Yin a second chance at life, like he could die twice. After that, Xiao Zhu got into his coffin for a long sleep and told Shao Yin to visit him in 60 years. Shao Yin thanked him and left the secret place, wondering where his 2 older cousins had mysteriously disappeared to. He also thought about Sooner and quickly left. Meanwhile, on Dragon Island, Sooner became the dragon mother, and her dad was one of the 4 dragon leaders. Sooner saw 3 dragon chiefs in court who had made a deal with Fan Lao. She took away their life pearls and ordered them to give up their inner energy and be locked in the Valley of Lightning. After that, she started planning to get her clan back in order, including finding 3 new leaders for Dragon Island. Elsewhere, at the Yulan clan headquarters, Yanran was practicing sparring with her senior apprentice, Yun. Later, Yanran overheard a conversation between Yun Shan and Master Gu about a duel that was promised 3 years ago between Shao Yin and Yanran. The duel was coming up soon. Yun then called Yanran to come to the prison. There, she saw Xiao Zhan locked up. She secretly entered the cell to find out what was happening. Xiao Yan's dad told her that the Yunlan clan leaders had wiped out all the Xiao family members and put him in prison. He also mentioned that Yun Shan, Yanran's teacher, was working with the Hall of Souls. Yanran wanted to help him escape, but Xiao Zhan, who seemed to have lost hope, didn't want to leave. Back on Dragon Island, Sooner, who was missing Xiao Yin, was suddenly attacked by a masked person. Meanwhile, Yun Shan finally confronted Xiao Zhan. They were both after the same thing, which is an ancient jade. Each of the 5 alliance clans had a piece of this ancient jade, and when all 5 pieces were brought together, they would unlock an ancient tomb. Inside the tomb is knowledge from the fighting god, which could help the new 5-clan alliance defeat the Hall of Souls. Xiao Zhan didn't want to give up his piece of ancient jade and told Yun Shan he was disappointed in how he'd been leading the alliance. Soon after, a messenger from the Hall of Souls arrived and took Xiao Zhan away. Yanran, who was secretly listening, got a warning from Fan Lao. Yun Shan then called Yanran over for a talk. He shared the story of the god of fighting and the reincarnated soul, who was the leader of the Hall of Souls. It turns out, they were brothers. They used to rule the fighting continents together, but they had a falling out. The fighting god won and locked up the reincarnated soul. That's why history books say the god of fighting was the hero and the reincarnated soul was the villain. Yuan Shan then explained that winners usually write history to make themselves look good. He said the reincarnated soul, who was locked up by the god of fighting, is coming back to reclaim the power they once shared. Yuan Shan didn't see anything wrong with working for the Hall of Souls because he was just trying to ensure the survival of the Yunlong clan and pass it on to Yan Ran. Soon after, Yuan Shan asked Yan Ran to give him the Nalan family's ancient jade, but Yan Ran was shocked and refused. Because of this, Yuan Shan locked her up, knowing she had secretly visited Xiao Zhan in prison. Meanwhile, Sooner learned that her fourth uncle was sick and decided to visit him, feeling something was wrong. She noticed a wound on his hand and accused him and another uncle of trying to attack her the previous night. To find out the truth, Sooner brought her uncles and father together for a talk. It didn't take long for her to discover that her second and fourth uncles were indeed the attackers. She showed them the Gu family's ancient jade hidden in her golden bow and warned them not to try to steal it. With no way out, the two uncles admitted they had worked with Fan Lao because they felt they had to, thinking it was best for their family. As the Dragon Mother, Sooner decided to lock them up for life. Then she asked her dad for permission to leave the island to find Xiao Yin. Eventually, Sooner met Master Ruo Lin and finally saw Xiao Yin again. After catching up, Master Ruo Lin invited Xiao Yin to meet her friends. They all met with Master Ting Shan, who said the Hall of Souls was causing more trouble. He suggested everyone return to the academy to create a stronghold to fight against the Hall of Souls. They decided to split into 3 groups and head back to the academy. Meanwhile, Yan Ran, who was locked up, decided to give in. She agreed to hand over her family's ancient jade, but only if Yuan Shan promised to make her the next leader of the Yunlong clan. Yuan Shan agreed and said he would make Yan Ran his successor. Then, he called Master Gu and Master Han Feng and told them to make sure Xiao Yin would show up for the duel with Yan Ran, planning to defeat him that day. In the meantime, Yan Ran went to see her senior apprentice, Yun Yun, who had set her up earlier by finding Xiao Zhan and reporting it to their master. Yun Yun seemed upset with Yan Ran and took her to a quiet spot in the mountains. Suddenly, Yun Yun attacked, and a fierce fight began between them. As the fight between Yun Yun and Yan Ran got more intense, Yun Yun realized that Yan Ran was much more skilled than she had shown before. She got angry, accusing Yan Ran of pretending to be weaker all this time. Yan Ran then confessed that she had gained all her inner strength from her late granddad, Nalan Jia. In the end, Yun Yun admitted she was jealous of Yan Ran for being a rival for the next leader of the Yunlong clan. She had tried to make Yan Ran look bad to Yuan Shan, but it didn't work. She confessed that she had devoted her life to Yuan Shan, who had cared for her since she was a child. Yun Yun had done everything Yuan Shan asked, from dangerous treasure hunts to teaming up with Fan Lao. But despite all her efforts, Yuan Shan never saw her as a possible successor. Yun Yun's red eyes showed that she had been affected by Fan Lao's poison. Yan Ran was getting ready for her wedding with Master Gu, so she called her dad to the Yunlong clan headquarters. She gave him the Nalan clan leader's plaque and quietly asked him to prepare his 8 best bodyguards. She wanted them ready to face Yuan Shan at the wedding. At the same time, in another place, Master Ting Shan and his group ran into trouble. Suddenly, the forest around them became foggy, and green lanterns floated around. Master Ting Shan told everyone that they were dealing with someone from the Fu clan, a group known for causing problems. Then, an old woman from the Fu clan appeared. She admitted that Fan Lao had sent her. Using her powers, she summoned a bunch of zombies. It was tough to handle these energy-draining creatures, but Xiao Yin stepped up and fought the old woman, stopping the zombies. Finally, Sooner shot the old woman with her bow, ending the threat from the Fu clan. Back at the academy, the masters held a meeting to discuss how to deal with the Hall of Souls, which was becoming very strong. Master Gu, secretly working with Yuan Shan, suggested they train an army instead of students to fight the Hall of Souls, but Master Ting Shan disagreed. He said that students shouldn't be on the front lines. That job belonged to Yuan Shan, the leader of the 5 alliances, to fight the Hall of Souls. Meanwhile, at Yulan Sect headquarters, Yuan Shan was training with a snake sword in the Hall of Souls. Suddenly, someone sneaked in and stole Yuan Shan's sword. It was Yan Ran. She showed the sword to Yun Yun, and they decided to go against their master. But Yuan Shan was quick to react. He performed a blood ritual to get his sword back. However, Yan Ran refused to give up the sword. even though Yun warned her it was dangerous. Yanran didn't want her teacher to gain all the knowledge from the Hall of Souls, so she used her own blood to keep the sword from returning to Yunshan. Meanwhile, at Jianan Academy, Master Han Feng sneaked into the Yin Yang Tower and dripped Fan Lao's blood there. Suddenly, the whole tower started shaking. It turned out that Master Han Feng was following Yun Shan's plan to destroy the tower, so the students couldn't train and become stronger. Elsewhere, Lin Xiao informed Master Ruo Lin that the Academy's new students were in the Black Forest and were being attacked by the Fu clan. Everyone rushed to help and found an old man performing a ritual to summon the undead. When the old man realized Xiao Yin had defeated his wife, he became even angrier. But the masters arrived and defeated the old man. After this, the Yin Yang Tower shook even more, making it hard for the students to practice. Later, Master Teng Shan checked it out but couldn't understand why the giant snake was so upset. He mentioned that this snake, tamed by the god of fighting, had been protecting the academy for thousands of years. After everyone left, Master Han Feng showed Master Gu what he had done. He had dripped Fan Lao's blood in the tower. The snake didn't like anything from the Hall of Souls, and they thought the snake might eventually destroy the tower. Yun Shan brought Yun over and gave her some knowledge from the Hall of Souls. He mentioned that his practice sword, which was needed for this knowledge, had gone missing, making the book useless. Surprised, Yun quickly kneeled and promised she didn't take the sword, even though Yun Shan suspected her. Yun Shan also mentioned that the person who took the sword was a woman with strong inner power. At Jianan Academy, the Yin Yang Tower started shaking wildly. Seeing that the tower was about to collapse, the masters rushed to get the students out. After ensuring their safety, Xiao Yin, who had also gone inside to investigate, found himself surrounded by Master Han Feng and Master Gu. Xiao Yin realized that these two were behind the trouble. But with all his training, Xiao Yin had become much stronger and was able to hold his own against the two masters. During the intense battle, the altar floor beneath Xiao Yin suddenly opened up and he fell. As he was falling, it felt like gravity paused for a moment, and he heard a voice speaking to him. Meanwhile, outside, Master Teng Shan announced that Fan Lao and his group were attacking the academy, starting a big fight. Down below, Xiao Yin unexpectedly encountered a being who was actually a snake in disguise. The snake was angry because Fan Lao's blood had tainted his place. The snake recognized Xiao Yin as the person he had helped before and knew about the good deeds Xiao Yin had done for the snake people. The snake then told Xiao Yin that the voice he heard was the echo of the fighting god. Because of this, the snake decided to teach Xiao Yin a powerful technique called the art of 3 fire changes. The snake marked Xiao Yin's forehead with a holy light and told him to practice the 3 fire changes technique regularly. Before disappearing, the snake advised Xiao Yin to use this skill to take down the Hall of Souls. After gaining this new skill, Xiao Yin quickly used his 3 fire knowledge to fight the 2 masters who had betrayed everyone. When he joined the others outside, the tide of the battle turned in their favor against Fan Lao's attack. Realizing he was losing, Fan Lao fled, with Master Han Feng and Master Gu following him. Shortly after, the Yin Yang Tower couldn't hold up any longer and collapsed. Master Teng Shan brought Xiao Yin to meet the other masters, wanting him to share his encounter with the snake being and the vision of the god of fighting. As Xiao Yin was talking about the god of fighting's message, a bright light suddenly shone from his forehead. The message was a warning about a warrior who would come to stop the Hall of Souls' trouble. The masters were amazed by this direct message from the god of fighting and showed their respect to Xiao Yin. They gave him a scroll containing a prophecy, explaining that only the person it was about could open it. Confused by all of this, Xiao Yin decided to consult with Yao Chun in his ring. He told him about the prophecy that mentioned a warrior and wondered if he was that warrior. Yao Chun suggested he open the scroll to find out. When Xiao Yin opened the scroll, it started glowing, and scenes from his past memories appeared for everyone to see. This puzzled him and the masters because they were expecting a prophecy, but instead, they saw parts of Xiao Yan's past. Xiao Yin shared this with Yao Chun, who was also surprised that the scroll didn't contain any predictions, just bits of Xiao Yan's memories. Feeling unsure if he was the warrior mentioned in the prophecy, Xiao Yin received some wise advice from Yao Chun. Yao Chun reminded him that everyone creates their own path in life, so it was up to Xiao Yin to decide if he wanted to be that warrior. Later, Master Teng Shan gave similar advice. He explained that the prophecy was meant to give people hope and keep the spirit of truth alive while waiting for the warrior. Anyone who could bring down the Hall of Souls could be the warrior from the prophecy. Xiaoyan then shared the knowledge of the 3 fires he had learned, and Master Tengshan encouraged him to practice a lot because mastering the God of Fighting's knowledge was very challenging. Xiaoyan then went into the ring, put on his training gear, and started serious practice, with Yao Chan watching closely. Meanwhile, at Yunlan clan headquarters, Yun was shocked to see that Yin Ran looked terrifying. It turned out that Yin Ran had picked up the knowledge sheet that Yun Shan had discarded and had now mastered the Black Snake Sword. At the academy, Sooner tried hard to convince Xiao Yin not to rush into a duel with Yin Ran. She worried Xiao Yin might not stand a chance since Yin Ran had been trained by both the Nalan family and the Yulan Sect. To help, Sooner gave Xiao Yin the rest of her scroll containing the 3000 lightning movement technique. They thought it would be good to visit home before Xiao Yin faced Yin Ran. When Xiao Yin got home, he was shocked. The place was dusty, full of cobwebs, and looked like it hadn't been touched in a long time. He learned that 2 months ago, someone named Yun Shou had kidnapped his dad and removed everyone else. Yao Chen then told him that Yun Shou was the leader of the Yunlan clan. They guessed Xiao Yan's dad was probably being held at the Hall of Souls sacrificial altar. Yao Chen said they were after the ancient jade from the Xiao family. Determined to save his dad, Xiao Yin performed a ritual to enter his soul sword and left a message for Sooner to stay behind. He told her that if he didn't return in an hour, she should end him. The next day, Xiao Yin arrived and found his dad unconscious and chained up. No matter how hard he tried, the chains wouldn't break. Soon, a large reincarnated soul appeared and nodded at Xiao Yin. The head of the Hall of Souls said he always thought Xiao Yin was special. He decided to share some knowledge from the Hall of Souls with him and mentioned that he wanted Xiao Yan's dad because of some ancient jade that had something belonging to him in the ancient grave of the God of Fighting. Suddenly, Fan Lao appeared, and they started to fight. Surprisingly, this Fan Lao wasn't as strong as the one Xiao Yin had fought before. Xiao Yin fought back using his youthful anger fire style. Meanwhile, Sooner, who was watching outside, got worried seeing Xiao Yin in trouble. She sent her inner strength to him, helping Xiao Yin launch an attack that cleared the red mist around him. But Xiao Yin was thrown out, bruised and beaten. He couldn't save his dad but promised to try again. After talking with Sooner about their uncertain future, Xiao Yin suddenly realized where his dad might have hidden the family's ancient jade. He went to the ancestral altar in the desert, where he found the ancient jade his father had hidden. Yao Chun then covered the jade with stone to keep it safe. Meanwhile, Master Han Feng and Master Gu, who had escaped the fight at the academy, went to the Yunlan clan headquarters for safety. Soon after, Master Gu told everyone how Xiao Yin had defeated them both with just one move. Yun Shan informed Yin Ran that Xiao Yin was on his way to fulfill his promise of a duel with her. He also asked how her practice with the Black Snake swordsmanship was going, which surprised her since she didn't expect him to know she had taken his sword. Yun Shan then showed Yin Ran that he had taken down all 8 of his elite bodyguards. He also warned her not to think about trying to take his leader's position. He would still let her have the chairman role they had agreed on, but she shouldn't challenge his rule again. Finally, the day came for Xiao Yan's duel with Yin Ran. Staying true to his word, Yun Shan announced that Yin Ran was being considered for the top spot in the Yunlan clan. Soon after, Xiao Yin arrived, ready to fight Yin Ran and keep his promise. But Yin Ran couldn't keep up with Xiao Yin and lost quickly. Feeling the pain of defeat, Yin Ran was about to do something extreme, but Xiao Yin stopped her. Seeing Yin Ran, his student, lose so easily made Yun Shan very angry, and he quickly kicked Xiao Yin out. But Xiao Yin wasn't just there to keep his promise. He wanted revenge on those who had insulted his mom. He also wanted to deal with everyone in the Yunlan clan since they were working with the Hall of Souls. Soon, it was time for Master Han Feng and the Yulan Sect leaders to face Xiao Yin, but they were no match for him. Xiao Yin was too strong. Seeing this, Yun Shan quickly called his people to form up. At that moment, Xiao Yin was feeling the pressure from their formation when suddenly, an arrow flew in and broke the formation. It was Sooner coming to his rescue. Medusa and Mo Basie also showed up with their snake troops to support Xiao Yin. Yun Shan was struggling to handle Xiao Yin, and then, out of nowhere, 13 elders from the Yunlan clan jumped in to attack Xiao Yin. Without hesitation, Xiao Yin unleashed his new power, the Young Angry Fire style, formed from 3 fire cores. This attack sent Yun Shan and the 13 Yunlan clan leaders reeling. But just as Xiao Yin was running low on energy, Fan Lao appeared. He quickly absorbed the power from the 14 people, becoming much stronger, and faced off with Xiao Yin. Realizing he was in a tough situation, Xiao Yin told his friends to escape. That's when Yao Chun, understanding what was happening, used all his strength to team up with Xiao Yin. Soon after, Xiao Yin gave it his all, using both his fire technique and the 3000 lightning movement technique he had just learned. And with that, Fan Lao, Yun Shan, and the 13 Yulan clan leaders were defeated. After all the fighting, Xiao Yin was in terrible shape. His blood vessels had burst, and he looked really weak. That's when Xian appeared, trying to save him and take him somewhere safe. She brought Xiao Yin to a cave, and it was heartbreaking for her because she couldn't stop crying, seeing him so close to death. Soon after, she decided to leave the cave to find help. But while Xian was gone and Xiao Yin was alone, unexpectedly Master Han Feng showed up. He came for the ring and quickly entered the ring's dimension. Once inside, he acted respectful toward Master Yao Chun, the same person he had been forced to kill earlier. He even spoke badly about his junior apprentice sister, who was actually Xiao Yan's mom. Being the two-faced person he was, Han Feng begged the master for forgiveness and asked for all the treasures in the pavilion. He wanted to study the spiritual power books and defeat the Hall of Souls. But Yao Chun, knowing Han Feng's tricky nature, played along and pretended to agree, handing over the treasures. Han Feng soon realized he was being tricked and got really angry. He tried to get his master out of the ring dimension, but it didn't work. Frustrated, he stepped out of the dimension, took the ring, and kicked Xiao Yin. Not long after, Sooner arrived and was heartbroken to see Xiao Yin in such a bad condition. With tears in her eyes, she revealed something important. It turns out she had a mission all along. When she was little, she was part of the Xiao family and was like a little sister to Xiao Yin. She had promised back then to get revenge for him. With Xiao Yin looking like he was close to death, Sooner had to leave him behind. But just then, Xiao Yin opened his eyes and smiled. So the moral of the story is if your family drama involves ancient jades, hidden scrolls, and a 1000-year-old grumpy grandpa, maybe it's time to rethink your definition of family bonding.